Hello and welcome to another update video about Algorand. Also had a lot of requests for Algorand, but this chart is just not looking too good. I never really liked this chart. I've always expressed this. The main problem with this particular chart is that the move to the upside looks more corrective than the actual move to the downside. The move down looks actually quite like an impulse. So I did explain those different possibilities in, I think, the last video and said, this is a coin that unfortunately broke the 78.6 retracement and even the 88.7% retracement, even if I start at 0. We broke even the 88.7% fib level, that's at 32 cents, in 5 waves. So you can count the entire move down as an impulse, as a wave 1 down. And we could now be certainly in a wave 2. If this wave 1 is already finished, don't really have enough clarity. But it could be finished, and then we are moving up in a wave 2 possibly. That could take us quite high, maybe even into the $2 region. But you know, it could just be the bear count, and it could mean that in the next bull run we're not going to make a new all-time high, and it could mean that over time this coin is just going to be lost. People are going to lose interest. That's sort of typically how coins die. Now, I'm not telling you this is going to happen, but I'm going to tell you here that this coin retraced more than it is healthy for a coin, and it also moved down more impulsively than it moved up, which means if I was trading just the chart and if I had to make my investment decision based on the chart structure, I would not invest in Algo, personally. Yeah, I would rather use a chart that has a more substantial or more established uptrend, and that certainly in the move up looks more impulsive than in the current correction. Yeah, so be careful about that. Just saying, which doesn't mean there couldn't be upside, there could be substantial upside, but you need to be on the lookout when we reach here sort of the region between 120 to 225. It's a large area, but that's because the market moved down quite a bit, and it also depends on the subwaves. We obviously are very, very much in the beginning. Nobody missed anything here anyway, because this can, even in a wave 2, it could move up again to 120 to 225. But that depends. I can't really give you a target yet. This is sort of a wide area. It depends on, do we get an ABC or do we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that would take us to new all-time highs. It's obviously too early to say that, but along the way we can obviously analyze it and then get more clarity about the key pivot points and support areas that the price needs to hold. Yeah, at the moment, depends a bit. This move down could be in, the wave 5 could certainly be in, but also it is entirely possible that we are just putting in here a larger retracement within still this wave 5 to come. But therefore, because this is not entirely clear, we haven't even broken above this wave 4 high yet. There is such a long distance to go and to travel. We haven't even broken above those significant swing lows here at 28 cents. I would say this is definitely going to be, I shouldn't say definitely, but this is certainly going to be some kind of a retracement, a resistance if we move up now around the 27, 28 cent level, maybe a tiny bit higher, maybe, 28 cents makes sense. And this could certainly push to that level. Then it will be interesting, how do we react to that level? And certainly we have a short-term uptrend, but this could certainly just do something like this, going up and then making a new low on the way down. So it's just way too early. What we need as some kind of initial evidence that a more substantial low has been made, and that could be a low of this wave 1, which would be the overall bearish count, or it could be here, and I think I deleted that for some reason. It could be here this wave 2 if we count it bullish, which is possible as well, right? You could say this was a wave 1 to the upside, but it's a very unreliable count here with all these retracements. It would have to be a diagonal, and diagonal counts are never, great. So a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, this wave 2 down then would have completed the overall correction in a wave Y of 2, because you can count it in a W, X, Y pattern, and then within the Y wave we had an A, B, C. So that could be finished. It has certainly come down far enough. It's actually come down too much. And now we just need to get the evidence that we are reversing, certainly in a short-term uptrend. Again, next target, as I said, or resistance is the 28 cent level. and we could say that we've done here something. There's probably a 1-2 hidden here somewhere. But again, the move up here currently looks very corrective. There is not enough substance here to work with, really. You don't really have a 1-2 setup, nothing clear. You could say maybe here 1-2, but then the wave 3, let's see if that was actually long enough. It might have been. Yeah, okay. So we could get away with that actually. Yeah, okay. And let's just label that then. I haven't really looked into those subwaves too much, but that's not too important at the moment. 3, 4, and this could be a 5, because eventually the proof or the initial evidence that we have a more substantial low in place here will come, as so often, in the next retracement. So if we do something like 1 up, 2 down, and so on, this is certainly something I would say at the moment for the watch list. I don't see a clear trade setup at the moment, but the setup that will come is, we have 5 waves now. So let me actually just double check if that is a valid 4th wave. It might be sort of borderline. Yeah, we just about did hold the 50% retracement. So, okay, and the wave 5 looks quite impulsive. So we could say this is a 5-wave move up. It might be wise, at least if someone wanted a clear setup, a pullback setup, to wait for this wave 2 retracement, if we get it. Well, we will get it. The question is just, is it going to break or not? And also, I don't have a clear top in place here, so this could still push a bit higher, maybe even to 28 cents. That would be an obvious resistance area, and maybe we bounce off and come down in this wave 2. The wave 2 would happen in an ABC structure, most likely. And then at the moment, based on the current measurement from the current high, which is all I can use at the moment, we should get ideally into the region between 18 and 20.7 cents. But I will have to move this target range up depending on how high we go in this 5th wave. And in here, it should then ideally turn around, and this is where you could trade the wave 3. Or if we are in something more bearish, we would at least get an ABC structure here. So you could scale into the B wave, or if it's something more bullish, you will get eventually this 4th and the 5th wave as well, which we don't know yet, right? It's just too early for that. But we're back in an early uptrend. The only concern I have, we haven't really broken above any significant previous swing lows. Yes, we sort of broke above this high now, but it's not far enough yet that I would call it's a substantial breakout. Looking here at the indicators, for example, on the 4-hour, it's also always quite a bit of a meaningful chart. Yeah, momentum is still pushing higher here on the MACD. But yeah, okay. We're sort of in the process of making a slight bearish divergence here on the 4-hour, and you will probably see that on the 1-hour even more detailed, making those higher highs on the price chart, but getting those bearish divergences. Did I say crossover? No, but divergences. That often happens towards the end of a trend. So obviously you've got these 5 waves up, and typically in a 5th wave you start to see a bearish divergence. High reading normally sort of in a 3rd wave. So of the 5th here, you obviously had a 3rd wave as well. That's probably already done. Then we had the wave 4, and we're now pushing up in a wave 5 where you get these divergences. So yeah, I think this can push a bit higher because we don't have a reversal signal. Price hasn't confirmed the reversal yet. But at that point then, when we get into this area, that might be an interesting long trade. At least I might be watching for that because it might be very early that we get back into an uptrend here. Now, target for that 5th wave, we could use the length of the 3rd wave to measure that, go to the low of the 4th. First target actually already reached here, the 61.8 extension. Next target would be 27 cents. And then I would say between 27 and 28 makes sense as next targets. And then we can also measure it by taking the length of the wave 1 and looking for the 1.618 extension at 26 cents. So it actually starts at 26, between 26 and 28. I'd be watching that area for a reversal possibly. Yeah, and that's my update about Algo. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.